Hey, hi, hello, and good afternoon. My name is Amanda, and welcome to Harmony Portal Tarot Live. Pop-ups, go away. How is everyone this fine Woo-Woo Wednesday? Hello, Versha. Hello, Anna. Welcome, welcome. All right, good to have you. I'm glad to be back. I think it was Friday. Yeah, it was Friday that I had to not participate in our fun live stream because Boston had finals week last week, and then Friday was like a makeup day, and because he missed pretty much the whole week before finals, he had like a whole project in his robotics class and some health CPR testing and homework stuff that he needed to do. So he got all that done on Friday, and I went down there at like 11:10 or 11:15, and he's like, actually, I need another hour, maybe two. And then 45 minutes, less than an hour later, he calls. He's like, yeah, okay, I'm done. I didn't take me as long as I thought. So I probably could have. And then my husband picked him up because he's like, oh, I'm out on a walk anyway. I can just walk back to my car and grab him and then come back to work. I'm like, oh. So I probably could have gone live later, but here we are. Yeah, good to see all of you as well. And today we're going to be doing just a free collective reading. How's everyone doing? How's everyone feeling? Fun fact, Versha has been reading some of my book one in my series. That's two fingers. Book one in my series. And it's fun. It's fun to know that someone else is reading it besides just the critique group, which they started reading book one 8 years ago. Let me see, 2018. Yeah, that was 8. Was that 8 years ago? Oh my God. Yeah. Closer to 7 and some years ago, because it was like fall of winter to fall of 2018 when they started reading it. So yeah. Oh my gosh, it's been written that long, and it just is taking me this long. I'm on a mission right now, you guys, because when I was writing book one and part of book two, I'm like, people just aren't ready for this. I mean, there may be a very select few amount of people out there ready for what I'm trying to say in this series and the themes and the plot and everything that's going on. I'm sure someone could probably enjoy the story just without any kind of underlying awakening going on in their life. But I wanted people to get it, you know? And now is the time. People are starting to wake up like crazy right now and before, and it's time. I just need to hit the ground running and keep going. This is a 7-book series, although the 7th book is kind of a companion novel to the main series that you can't read until you read all the rest, or it's going to spoil like the big book 6 reveal, I guess. So, but weirdly enough, this is set in like 1978, which happens way before all the rest of this series. So it's a prequel that you can't read until after everything has gone down. I know most prequels you can literally read them, and of course, unless you've already read the whole series, which it's not even written yet, so you couldn't have done that yet, and then read that one first, like to read them in order so you know. But I wouldn't advise that until the whole series is out, you've read the whole series, and then read book 7. Because it's a whole different main character. Obviously, this is a main character before my main series is even born. So, but weirdly enough, book 4, right? Yes, book 4. Book 4 in the series, we go back to 19. I'm still debating if it's what the year is. Is it 1971 or 2? I'm debating. We get pulled back to kind of one of the storylines, timelines, whatever, is back then, back in 1971. Again, before certain characters are born. So maybe there's past life stuff going on. Who knows? Who knows? I didn't say anything. I'm exhausted and have body ache as if I'm sick, but I'm not sick at all. My bones and hips and joints like hurt, especially at night. I noticed that. And it's not anything I'm doing or changing. I've cut out like pretty much all the inflammatory foods and all of the things that could be. It's very energetic. When I tune in, it's just like my body adjusting to these frequencies and whatever's going on, both good and bad, I'm sure. But yeah, it's been a lot. It's been intense energetically out there. And even people who have no idea what's going on are feeling it, and they're lashing out and taking it on people. I've noticed a lot out just in the community. Fun times. Couldn't get to read more of what I read yesterday. Oh no, again, there is no rush. I'm probably not even gonna get the whole beta reader thing done until sometime this summer. That's my, like, no later than sometime this summer. Because like I was telling you, Versha, from about the halfway point of book 1, I still have kind of another draft to go before I get those out to beta readers. But the first half of the book, up to the midpoint of the book, is in 4th draft status, ready to be beta read. And for me to take that beta reader feedback, do yet another draft, and then send it off to editor. And then after that, send it off to a proofreader, and then get ready to publish. Like, I'm not too many steps behind, like, actually seeing something happen here. But I'm that guy that wants to maybe at least have the first 4 to 5, at least in the first draft, five books of this series, at least in the first draft, so that I can, anything that, because this is what happens when I write, is things change, things shift. Characters that have no business doing certain things just take over and do certain things, like they did from books 1 to 2 to 3, that I didn't anticipate, because, I can only plan ahead so far, but when I'm in the scene, it's like I'm in another reality, and certain things just happen without, to me, it's like spirit-led. It's very much, I protect my writing space, my creativity from any kind of matrix or entity hijacking, so that my spirit can obviously hijack what I have outlined. Like, okay, obviously my spirit has a better idea of how this should go, and I wouldn't want it any other way. This one specific character just completely hijacked a massive storyline that he had no business taking, but now that I look at it, it was meant for him all along, but my human part didn't know that. So, you know how that goes. If you're a creative of any kind, sometimes your best laid plans completely get derailed because there's something better that's coming through. And you're just kind of the vessel through which it comes through, kind of like you're the pregnant woman giving birth to this baby, aka book or painting or creation. And we don't know what color the baby's eyes are going to be, or what color hair, or is it going to look like mom or dad? Is it going to be playful or shy? Like, we don't know all these things. As the vessel through which our creation's birth, our spirit does, but we, as this speck of consciousness that we are inhabiting right now, or seeing the lens of our viewpoint through, can't see it all right now, but our spirit has our back. That's how I like to look at it. Brianna overstands. Hi, Brianna. Welcome. Yeah, so I feel a lot came up. Was there just something? I just saw something like up here in the corner. It kind of went like this out the corner of my eye. I saw it. That's how it's supposed to be. Yes. I just feel, a lot came up after I finished the Stranger Things series yesterday. I cried in the night as I set an intention to accept more of my own situation around family SK and me. Aw. So I have episodes 7 and 8 left of season 5 before I finished it all. That was fast, but even for me, I know it's only 8 to 9 episodes per season, but some of those episodes in season 4 were like 2.5 hours long. They're long episodes. But I just almost felt like I was in some alternate reality while I'm watching it, and not in a, like, getting my consciousness hijacked kind of way. It was very much because I went into this series setting very clear boundaries and intentions that only my spirit would allow the hijacking to take place, not like any kind of matrix interference that's a lot of times programmed into our shows, our movies, our songs, music, a lot of that stuff, and even art, like even art you look at can be hijacked. A lot of these famous paintings, you look at it, it almost like subliminally programs you and not always in your highest good. It can also work the opposite. It's programming you in your highest good or in alignment with your spirit. And that's the intention I'm setting with my series is it's not that people are getting in alignment with my spirit. It's that I'm planting seeds in my book and it's putting codes or embedding codes that puts them in alignment with their highest truth or whatever their spirit is deeming as worthy or what direction this should awaken them or keep them not awake, whatever that may look like. But I'm not allowing matrix tricksters to interfere with my book series. And I don't think there's a lot of people out there consciously, there are, but not on a grand scale, consciously creating their artwork. I love it. I love Stranger Things. Yeah, I'm gonna have to finish it out, obviously, and then let it kind of simmer and settle and process. And then I want to go back and watch it all through again. But that'll probably be this summer when I have more time. Because I've gotten so much back into my own book stuff. It's funny because Stranger Things, I mean, it has basically a lot of the message that they are doing and the way they're doing it, there is overlap, I guess, with what I'm doing with my series because universal truths are capital T universal truths. So even if Stranger Things may use monsters and the upside down, and they call it different things. It's kind of same-ish, different name, I guess. I don't really have quote unquote monsters, but I have something called jinn, which are basically worse than demons, or what maybe you call demons, entities, shadow people, tricksters, shades. A lot of spiritual gifts come out in my series. So I guess I have different terminology maybe than there's not like blood and gore the way maybe there would be in Stranger Things, but it's telling a very similar story that, I mean, basically they've spelled it out. Like the basic premise is for my series, and I think for both My Thing and Stranger Things is, are we going to be locked down and under these oppressive systems, entities, matrix, false matrix, or are we going to be sovereign beings in the world but not of it? Freedom is a big theme, I think, both in Stranger Things and in my series as well. But we have way different ways of going about it. Obviously, that book series or that series is set in the 80s, and my book series is set in the 90s. So it's almost like they're not set in the same universe, but there's a lot of overlap and a lot of, I think if someone enjoys Stranger Things, they would probably enjoy my series kind of vibe, especially if you like the 90s or things from the 90s. Yes. Let's see. Yeah, glad Bearsha watched it. Yeah, it is such a deep show. Yeah, you have to watch it again and again. So many aha moments and chills. Yeah, I love it. It also puts new meaning to miscarriage and failed fertilization. The desire for motherhood will never leave you. It is your birthright. Aw. Yeah, I love that. So true. Yeah. Yeah, interesting you brought motherhood up. I got this feeling bubble up to nurture another baby yesterday. I have had dreams of babies a lot recently, but we're not about motherhood. Yeah, I've had a lot of baby dreams myself lately. I told you one, Versha, about the one, it like had no face, but like that filter that like pinches your features to the middle. Like I don't have a lot of those apps that do that, but I've seen it. I don't know if that's Snapchat or I don't know. Oh, no, my nose is itchy. Or under my nose. But then the baby had almost like no skull. Weird. This baby or child on the back of this card looking at me almost looks like it has no top of the skull. And they call that anencephaly. I was calling it hydrocephalitis, but that's something totally different. Anencephaly. It's almost like part of the skull or brain are missing. And then on the anencephaly, if you Google anencephaly, the babies have huge features. But in my dream, the baby had like maybe this much of the face was all squished together with like a mouth, a tiny nose, and barely like slits for eyes, just like scrunched in like this. I don't know. I have all these dreams written down. I don't even want to get into it right now, but there's a lot of crazy stuff. But it's almost like the main theme of what's going on. I've been sleeping with, my husband got me 2 beanies that are like they protect your head. They're lined with something. I don't know if it's silver. I don't remember. They're lined with something on the inside of it that protects your brain from EMF frequencies. And I've been wearing that as I sleep at night. That's why I'm not having the best hair day today. I mean, it kind of puts a damper on the hair day, but I feel like my dreams are more protected and I'm getting more, even if the dreams are all over the place and weird and crazy, I'm getting the meaning of it or the meaning behind it. And a lot of my dreams are showing, this, you dream of a baby. That's supposed to be something that's like a new beginning or an analogy or a metaphor for a new beginning, birthing new creations, whether they're physical humans or artistic endeavors, new businesses, new relationships, whatever, new beginnings. And seeing this baby with pinched features and missing its brain, literally, it's like missing the brain. It can't think. It doesn't look right. There's something off with it. It's basically telling me that a lot of our projects, business ideas, artistic endeavors, without us even knowing, have and will be and continue to be, unless we're very hyper conscious about what we're doing, hijacked for the Matrix's use. I mean, even us yelling at somebody, our words, our spelling, we're casting spells all the time on the side of the Matrix, even if we're not purposely choosing to cast spells for the Matrix, but that's kind of what the dream's been unveiling to me, is just be even more conscious of a creator, even more conscious of the words that you say to people, or not even the thoughts you think, because we can't control the thoughts that are going through our mind, because as we all know, most of them aren't our own. We're picking it up like a radio station. And I even was explaining this to my youngest, Wrigley, about how most tools, like a pair of scissors, a pen, a hammer, those things we call tools. Our brain is also a tool, but our brain is much like if we compare our brain to the tool of, say, a hammer. Okay, when we want to use that hammer, we want to hang a picture up. We grab a nail. We, hopefully measure it out with, the stud behind it so that that nail's secure. And then we pick up the hammer and then we nail that nail into the wall. And then when we're done with the hammer, we put it away and it's there for the next time we need it. But our brain, let's say our brain is the hammer in this. It's like when we're not using the brain / hammer, the hammer's just up, like banging into windows, hitting someone across the face. It's maybe tripping somebody. It's dancing around the room. We're not the one wielding that hammer, brain. But here it is, just doing all this craziness. But then we almost feel bad because we think, oh, that's my thought, that's my brain, that's my mind, that's my hammer. But no, if you can kind of almost look at your brain as a hammer or a pen or a tool, and the fact that you've kind of put your brain down, like, okay, not using this right now, but it's still going and going and going and going. And you almost can detach or be more in observer mode and you don't beat yourself up as much. And if you are beating yourself up, again, that's not you. These are these entities tricking in or hooking in to trick you into thinking it's you. So this is where this, Cross of the Sleeping Phoenix and us really getting back to brass tacks with our authenticity and uniqueness and our sense of sovereignty and our self, the self, capital S, self, spirit that we are. Because a lot of what we and who we think we are is not us. And funny, because that's another huge theme in my book series too. So yes, I've been on an 18-minute tangent, but hey, I think you guys are here for it. I'm here for it anyway. Yeah, designed to put the medicine in the candy. I'm not sure if you know about the real Christmas time, the one about the pineal gland and not about the man in a suit, but we are in it. Most fertile time of our lives. Woo! I need to be quiet. No, I'm picking up what you're throwing down. Yeah, exactly. And they hijack a lot of stuff and then they give it a different meaning. And then we divert all of our beautiful energy, our life force, spending our time, paying attention, feeling like, okay, I'm a bad mom if I don't celebrate Christmas and put up a Christmas tree and, take the kids to see Santa, which my kids have never been a fan anyway. So it's kind of like, okay, whatever. We didn't even put up a Christmas tree this year. And there was that, like, what are other people going to think? Ego mom part of me that was like, well, I probably should do it. Even though my kids, last year, Wrigley was in tears because he didn't want to do it. He's just like, this is boring. I don't want to do this. But yet I'm like, well, this is what you gotta do. We gotta do it. And this is for you, not for me. And I realized I don't want to do it. I haven't wanted to do any kind of, um, real celebrating, except maybe on someone's birthday, celebrating the person on their birthday. That's a whole different can of worms, if you ask me. But as far as these holidays, Hollywood, holidays, Holly days, put us in a daze, get us all hypnotized to divert all our life force energy. I mean, you think of it, most months have a major holiday. And most of those major holidays involve getting us, lazy and fat and just eating stuff we shouldn't be eating, even though it tastes good. Um, it's a whole agenda. I mean, and you got to think it's like we keep looping, same traditions every year, looping. It's like at some point, like I've been tired of this looping of just the different years, same crap every year, especially around the holidays, anywhere from Halloween all the way through. And I used to love Halloween, and now I'm just like constantly having my energy and my kids' energy in this bubble because I know what an energy harvest day that is, and even into the next day. Um, and even the ritual, it's a ritual of going to a door, trick or treat, someone giving you candy, you're not giving them anything back. So that energy exchange is already unequal, and it's like we're putting our power outside ours. I mean, oh gosh, I could really go into tangents about it. It's kind of scary actually. But I just like every time I almost feel forced almost, but I know I have the power to say no and not participate in all of these looping traditions and cycles and holidays and whatever. And my kids are kind of leading the way. Like, I don't really care to do that anymore. I don't care to put up a Christmas tree with all these ornaments and, whatever. Yeah, it's kind of sad, but like happy at the same time. Like it's evolution, I don't know. Most people would just be like, she's crazy. I don't know what she's doing over there, but down there's so much so many side tangents and side quests we could go into with conversation that I could just talk forever with you guys. Girl, my dreams have been wild as of late. Oh, same. No, I had a dream I moved into this like mansion, but it was probably built somewhere between the 40s and the 60s, kind of almost like an art deco style, lots of tile and stuff like that. But it was like I was still maybe the age living with my mom, like below 18. And it was like, okay, here's your new room. And I was like exploring, like this mansion just never stopped. It did not stop. And I'm going room to room to room to room. And I found this really big empty room. I mean, I had some like old boxes and some like boards and stuff like stacked. And I'm looking around, I'm like, this room is so much roomier and spacier. And there's like windows all over, so much light. Like, this is my room. I don't want that small. I mean, not that it was small, but it's probably the room I was moving into in this dream was bigger than my master bedroom in this house, but it felt small because there's only one small window in that room. And then this room was just expansive. And I'm like, no, this is my room. And I just was like, no, this is the room I'm moving into. And I just claimed it in my dream. And then Mike from Stranger Things was there. And I was younger again, but then so was Wrigley was there, and I think Max, the girl from Stranger Things, was there too, but they didn't really play much of a role in it. They were just kind of there. And there was this big pool. It was like semi-public pool, but also part of the mansion. You know how dreams are kind of amorphous like that. And then I'm like continuing to explore, like, okay, you guys do what you're doing. And I continue to explore this mansion, and I'm going down this hallway again, just so much light, so many windows. And I see all these plants just everywhere. And I'm like, wow, this place must have like maids and servants or someone, because this place has been meticulously cared for. And if you guys have heard me talk about my dreams before, even though this mansion was probably built somewhere between the 40s and 60s, it felt very well cared for, very well kept. And again, if you guys have heard me talk in any length of any of my dreams, most of the time it's in my childhood home. It's dilapidated, part of it's burned down, part of it's moldy and like falling down or melting down. It's just always in like disrepair. Or I have dreams of like all these old hospitals or malls, mall world, toilet world. Look that up. I have lots of dreams like that where everything's just absolutely disgusting. But this dream, since I've been wearing that beanie over my head to protect myself, it's like things are pristine and well kept and beautiful. And then there was these just row after row. I almost felt like I was in a laundromat or something, of like washers and dryers, and they were like stainless steel, and they just like went down this hallway. Like when you look in a mirror and it just keeps going on forever, is kind of what it looked like. And just thinking logically, well, what does a washing machine represent? Getting things clean, purging cleaning up your messes. And they just were in pristine condition, not one pile of laundry in sight, which is like the reverse of where my laundry room is, which is our main bathroom. Whoever designed this place, putting the laundry room in the main bathroom, I have nowhere to fold these clothes. And they just pile up, pile up. But weirdly enough, it's like my dreams are cleaning house. Things are getting cleaned up in my dream state, at least the last probably 2 weeks or so since I've been wearing this beanie to protect myself. My dreams are still weird and chaotic and wild and crazy, but I'm not under attack or haven't been. I'm not in danger or haven't been. The places I go aren't dirty and cluttered. At least they haven't been. And there's so much light. The windows, even when I was outside at this like public, but also part of the mansion pool, it was like the sunshine was just so bright and the water was so sparkly and the colors were just more saturated and full of life and vibrancy than what I normally experience in my dreams. So I would say if you just want to do an experiment or test this theory for yourself, get one of those like EMF blocking. Make sure it's kind of not like this thick knit material, but more of a, let me just go grab it. I'll just show you. I don't know what it's made of, but let me grab it. Especially my girlies with lots of hair. Because you want to be able to put it like all the way over your hair. And what I do is I will take all my hair and just put it in one of these elastics without like doing it multiple times. I just put it one, and then I kind of wind my hair around a little bit and then push it flat. Then I put this over it, and I can even cover my eyes with it. It's so long and big and baggy. I can get all my hair in there and cover from all the way to the back of my neck to like my eyes with this thing. It's called Radius Smart RS. Looks like my stuff is lagging a little bit. Hopefully we can see in here. But it's lined with this like silvery stuff. 100% cotton, radiation shield fabric, 100% silver fiber is what this is. So already just 100% cotton, 100% silver fiber. There's no polyester. There's no plastic in this, thank goodness. But yeah, I've just been wearing, well, I look like Pop Smurf right now. Smurfette. I don't know. I'm only 2 weeks-ish into this, but since I wear, and I did miss a day because I had a thing I needed to do the next day and I wanted my hair to look semi-presentable, but I'm probably going to wash my hair tomorrow. And I might Thursday night, even though my hair is like ready for next day hair, I might just do what I do and put it up and just see if I can't hopefully get a decent hairdo the next day out of it. I haven't tested it. But my hair's kind of, it's been braided all day and I put it up. It doesn't look bad. So this is, I think, soft enough that it's not like frizzing my hair out, or like my curl clumps kind of stay clumped, if that makes sense. For my girls that, have more curly, wavy, kinky hair, try it out. I don't know, just see. Or if you have done this before, you can even wear it during the day. Nothing's stopping us, right? Let's wear it right now. Let's wear it right now. Papa Smurf style. I don't usually wear a lot of these like thin beanies like this because I feel like I'm trying to be like a chef or a baker or a Smurf almost. I don't know. I like more this type of beanie if I'm like leaving the house, but I could rock this for our live stream. Why not? Protect the dome at all costs. But yeah. Oh, and then the last part of that dream was there was this like almost canal system, probably I would say less than about 6 or 7 feet long. Is my dog in stuff? Oh, I cleaned part of my hallway out here, so there's less stuff she can get into now because I want a little office space, even if it's open to the rest of the house. I still want it and need it. So I'm working very slowly towards that. But yeah, there were like all these like canals that were like tile, like again, kind of art deco type tile, mostly white, but had like, I don't know, like the hexagrams of green tile here, there, and everywhere. But they were empty. The canals were empty in the basement of this mansion that I chose this really nice, awesome new room. And I remember it's not even just about what's going on in the dream, but how did you feel in the dream is what I'm taking into account all the time when I do my own personal dream interpretation. I just felt so hopeful, so ready for expansion and like new horizons and just go big or go home kind of energy is like what I've been embodying in the dream state. Even if things are weird, like that baby with the anencephaly, I still was like hopeful, like we're gonna make the most of this. It wasn't my baby. It was no, that one was like it wasn't born yet. It was like an ultrasound and like, well, this is what the baby's gonna be and look like. And I'm like, no, we're gonna figure this out. So I was like pregnant with that anencephaly baby in that dream. But then there's been other dreams where it's like somehow this baby's just my responsibility. I didn't give birth to it. It's not related to me, but there it is. It's there and someone needs to take care of it. So it's gonna be me. And I've had lots of dreams like that in the past where like there's just this baby in my life and then I like set it down and like go about my day and then I realize it's been 12 hours. I haven't changed or fed this baby and then I like run back to where the baby is panicked. Baby's okay like all the time. But I'm always like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I forgot about you. I didn't feed you. I didn't do anything." Anyone else have dreams like that? I haven't had any dreams like that lately, thank goodness, but we're just going to keep up with the experiment and just see how the dreams go. Funny enough, yesterday I just had a realization that I do not want to talk a lot. That is me in my personal, like day to day life. Like I am more of a listener just naturally, unless I have something really exciting to share. But because I'm the only one talking on our live stream here, I kind of just have to keep it moving, you know? Can't just sit there and cricket, cricket. But yeah, in my day to day life, like that's kind of my default setting is just more observer, listening. Of course, if I'm in a one on one relationship with someone or conversation with someone and maybe I'm explaining something or telling them something, of course I'll talk, but I would say it's probably 30% me talking and 70% everyone else in just my average conversations. That's just kind of how I've always been. Unless it's someone super close to me, then it's probably more 50-50. You know how that goes. Yeah. Funny enough, yesterday, realization, do not want to talk a lot. It's not required, as what I say will not land the way I would like it to, due to the gap in consciousness. Exactly. That's like trying to shout from 86.3 all the way up to 96.3. There's such a chasm that the people up there, if they can even hear you, it's so muffled and just outside, like the cognitive dissonance is just going to get them. Not to say that means you should never try, because we can plant seeds, remember, but expecting them to like have a full-blown awakening and get it from a different level of consciousness is just almost, you got to meet them halfway almost. Yeah. Yeah, let's see. I'm going to catch up on all your comments. We've got a lot. We've been talking a lot. I love this. I love this. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, wait. Gin stuff. Oh my god, dealing with them is mind-blowing. Now I am more intrigued to read your book. Yeah. There's a lot of fun stuff. You buckle up, Versha. You have not seen anything yet. You have questions now, and some of them, all of them will be answered eventually, but you're going to get even more. Funny you mentioned a cave. There's a cave in my book too. I love that. Transcended this realities have to exist in a cave and just push out the medicine. That's exactly what you got to do. Yeah. And it's almost like, people have this almost negative connotation of the word medicine, but initially it meant something very natural. We call it earth medicine, animal medicine, nature medicine. Nature is medicine. Food is thy medicine. But now we associate the word medicine with big pharma, which let's take the power back of the name medicine. Because let's see, I think it's a Latin word. Let me just see what it means, the actual meaning of the word medicine. But I've been, since like COVID and whatever, even before COVID, because I was like on this big, like after I saw what it did to Wrigley when he was 2, I was kind of on a crusade for a while there. And now I just don't even bother trying to talk to anyone about it. Um, let's see. Full meaning of medicine. Let's go to the root word, root. Remember doing Latin root words and stuff like that in high school? Latin, so root word. Okay. Yes, it is Latin. So I love this because it's exactly what you would hope it would mean. So the word medicine comes from the Latin medicina, rooted in medior, to heal. Well, we know that the medicines that they dish out to us do not heal us. They are treating symptoms, not root causes. But the true root word of the root word medicinia, I can speak, uh, means to heal, and medicus, which means physician, stemming from the Proto-Indo-European root med, meaning to take appropriate measures or to measure, reflecting early concepts of wisdom, advice, and healing arts, with related words like meditate, also sharing this origin, right? Yeah, in medical terminology, roots often describe the parts of body. Oh, roots. They're literally taking me literally here. No, I don't want to get into that. Roots, I mean, our nerves do resemble roots. Think of it that way. Yeah, the etymology of it is to take appropriate measures. Well, what Big Pharma has done is the exact opposite of that, but we're not going to get into that today. You guys know. We all know. We all know. Yeah. I love that though, Brianna, but it's kind of sad. It almost is like we have to almost exist in these like cave realities and just pop ourselves out from time to time or push out our art, our medicine, our words, our love, our truth. And whoever they land on or it lands with, you know. I have an oracle deck that is has a gestational period card. Oh, cool. Usually winter is associated. Exactly. It's the incubation and preservation. Springtime is birth. Exactly. I love that. Yes. Jessa's dreams have been wild. Funny enough, yesterday I just had a realization I read that part. So I did skip a bunch of the chat. That's my apologies, guys. I'm right there with you, Versha. I've been just writing. We are only under attack when we speak. I love that. Yes. Yes. It's pretty much, I mean, there's a lot of truth in that. A lot. Yeah, winter is almost hermit mode. So to say, and growth, that's what trees do, grow roots while while it's dealing with winter, we are pushed to celebrate, shop, deals. Exactly. Yeah, me too, Amanda. You have to close the vault door out there. Yes, you do. Yes, you almost had to put yourself in your own protective spiritual bubble to be able to bring across or bring birth. You know, birth should or is naturally just it doesn't have to be private, but a lot of times it just naturally women, cats, you notice a cat will a lot of times disappear to have their babies. They don't usually want like an audience. I mean, a lot of women don't want that either, for obvious reasons, but it's a very primal yet sacred yet divine experience that it almost is having other people and their opinions and their voices. It's just too much when you're literally trying to bring forth life, whether that's a physical child you're birthing or a project or a business or the newness of a new job or a new relationship. Of course, if it's with other people, you would have those people with you in the privacy of this birthing of whatever this thing is. But we forget that, you know, a lot of times when we have something we're working on or doing, especially with social media, people will be like, oh, I'm doing this, and then I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do this, without realizing you are opening the doors, windows, and garage doors of your vessel or your privacy surrounding your project to allow other people to project their opinions upon it or to project their jealousy into it and maybe even siphon some of the life force because of that jealousy. Like we almost have to move in silence until things are ready to go in a lot of ways. I mean, it's hard though when we're so excited to talk about something we've been working on or just how big something has affected us, but we know it's maybe not the right time to share it with the world until it is. And then of course, it's like after, you know, you've had your bonding time with that new baby, now's the time to let all the extended family and whatever in to meet that new baby. Be it new baby, be it new relationship, be it new project or book you're writing, painting you're working on, whatever the case may be. Then let those people meet that new creation. It is such a sacred act to birth, to create. And a lot of times especially if it's a monetized thing or something we need to create or do to make money or earn a living or put food on our table, we almost take the sacredness out of it because we have to do it anyway. We have to do it. So I'm trying to bring the sacredness back to my creation for sure. It's not always easy when you are trying to write a pivotal part in a scene and you've got Wrigley singing and twirling behind you and Boston's over here asking what's for dinner and but you find those quiet moments in the chaos of life. Yeah. Yeah, you have to close that vault door out here. Yes. I love the way they can use compromise. Another way of showing the manipulation of language. Yep. Yeah. I almost want to put an N instead of an N, like con promise. Yeah. Yes. All right. Michelle, it says you're not a subscriber. What? Well, people do get accidentally unsubscribed all the time, but welcome back. I think I only put like a 10-minute limit. So if you're not subscribed and then you do click subscribe during this live stream, it'll take like 10 minutes and then you can comment. I apologize for that. I hate when they do that. That's so dumb. Well, welcome back. Yeah. Oh, I shared a link for the cat from. Oh, thank you for finding this. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where he got it. I try not to give Amazon my business, but I didn't realize he was ordering this. I was just talking about it, and he just, being that awesome person he is, he just ordered it and was like, "Oh, by the way, that package is for you." I was like, "Oh, thank you." And I didn't realize how like game changing it's been. I don't know how much it was because I didn't go look, obviously, but Versha has posted a link for those who are wondering. I mean, it doesn't look that pretty, obviously, but what it does, I'm only 2 weeks in, so I can't say it's purely this, but I can say for one thing, it's definitely not hurting anything. Yes. Yeah. You're just like me. I was given a baby to take care of. That was my question too. Also, not sure if you noticed that when the Verizon towers went down, time sped up by 3 minutes. I have chills. When it all came back up, then the freeze happened, which is a whole other, oh my gosh. Yes. And think of this. Just the wording alone. Ice storm. What's going on in Minneapolis. I don't know lots of details, but I've heard things. I've seen things that I didn't mean to see because, you're on even YouTube, you're going to get glimpses of current events. Ice storm, and then we have an ice storm. I mean, that's not a coincidence. Again, words are spells. What are they trying to cast spells on us for? To remove more of our sovereignty because they're trying to trick us because they realize we are individually and as a collective, gaining more and more and more and more of our sovereignty as every moment, minute, day, week, month, year passes. We are gaining more and more, especially going in and beyond and past this 2027 corridor of Cross of the Sleeping Phoenix. They have no choice but to allow us, not that we need permission, but to allow us to have our sovereignty back. So they are doing everything they can to make it look like the opposite is happening. They have to invert everything. So yes, it is heartbreaking and devastating and angering and enraging what they are doing to people and how they are pitting right versus left right now. But we have to realize we are not against each other. We're not even against them if we really break it down on a spiritual level. We are just right now being asked to step into our sovereignty. And if we feel called to move this way or go this way or say this thing or do this thing, now's the time to start living in alignment with your sovereignty and your authenticity and your spirit. Even if your voice shakes, speak your truth. The guy that was pew-pewed by the ICE people, His name was Alex, and Alex means defender of the people. They are literally telling us they're hiding the truth in plain sight. Renee, the name of the Renee Good, I think was the lady's name. Renee means born again or rebirth. And then Alex, I have chills. Alex, the name Alex means anytime there's a big news story with, someone, especially these sacrificial appearing, things that are going on right now, I always look up what those people's names mean, because everything is they're telling us. They have to tell us. So if the writing's right there, you just have to have the eyes to see, ears to hear, and do a little bit of digging. Not that hard. You can figure out what they're trying to do. You had a human man step in to defend someone. I don't know if he knew the lady or not. Again, I didn't get into the news story, and it's fine. I don't need to know or care. I mean, I care. Obviously, I care. I have deep empathy for this. But if I'm feeding this narrative that they're trying to push to get me angry, yes, I'm angry. I'm angry. But I don't want that anger to fuel their agenda. I want that anger to fuel me to rise into my spirit, to help me and others elevate out of timelines where that's even a potential possibility to happen on a random Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever day of the week that happened on. So it's almost like, yes, we can still have that empathy and like wish that things were different, but at the same time, our power really is not in projecting anger out there to someone else. It's about feeling that anger, alchemizing it, transmuting it, and using it as fuel to become our greatest version, which already exists. We don't have to even do anything new. It's about sloughing off what's not us to get to the root and the truth of who we are. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I could just talk for years about all that. Oh my gosh. Okay, so, speaking of human design, have you guys heard of cosmic human design? I think so. Yeah, that's what it's called. If you go to cosmichumandesign.com, you can draw up your cosmic human design chart. So it's basically kind of, your tropical Western chart is, with the tropical placements and all of that. The cosmic chart uses the true sidereal, and not even like the 30 sign house system where every sign is 30 degrees, 30 degrees, 30 degrees. Because if you actually look at the sky, Virgo and Pisces are huge. Cancer's teeny tiny, little like what it actually takes up. And some of these constellations even overlap. And the true sidereal astrology, especially by Athen Chimenti, I think is his name. He's here mastering the zodiac here on YouTube, using his. If anyone does want to know how to do your own human design, whatever, you can email me, Amanda done photo design.com. But I think it's just cosmichumandesign.com or something. If you type that in, it'll pop up. But it gives you different placements. So my human design, my digestion and environment. So for my just tropical chart, my environment is valleys, narrow, and my digestion is indirect. But if you do my cosmic chart, it's mountains, which obviously I live in the mountains. Technically I live in the valley of the mountains, but mountains is my cosmic environment, and direct or digestion is direct. Indirect. Wait, direct. Yes. So they're opposite. Direct and indirect determined or digestion. Yeah. But I look at the oh my God, words are hard. The regular tropical human design chart is so accurate for me personally as who I used to be and who I've been, and even parts of still who I am. The cosmic chart, really, to me, I can see a lot of myself in it, but it's like the song by Tal Bachman, remember? She's so high, high above me. That song. It's like, that chart is like, feels like my spirit or something, or whatever representation my spirit could embody in a human body here on earth. It takes away that 61, I think it's 61, 6140 61, is it 6140? I always forget that it's 6124 channel from head into the ajna, I think they're called. Which is like overthinking, on loop, on loop, on loop, overthinking, overthinking, overthinking. My other chart has the 64, which is the channel right next to it, but the 64 gate and then the 47 gate. It has that one activated instead. I'm still a pure generator in both cosmic human design and basic human design. So that didn't change. But my authority went from sacral authority to emotional, which makes sense to me. Because I should not ever be making any kind of major decision when I'm worked up about something, ever. I know this about myself. I need time to chill and really get some gut processing, not even mental processing, but just like allowing my body to calm down, you know? Not sure if you noticed. Oh yeah, I read that one. My chat just jumped again, so I'm trying to catch up, guys. Yeah. So that's what I have going on. Yeah. And Jess is here. Hi. I can't remember if I said hi to you or not. I think I did. Yeah, it's not letting me. Okay, now it's letting me chat. That was strange. Well, welcome back, Michelle. That is why you will thrive. The authenticity is rising to the top. What's for dinner? STFU. LOL, JK. I know. I hear that even before they're done eating breakfast. They're like, what's for dinner tonight? What are we doing for dinner tonight? I'm like, is that all like teenage and preteen boys care about is food? In my house, it kind of is. Food, and Wrigley is obsessed with Stranger Things now. Oh my gosh. I should have taken a picture of him this morning. He wore his new I got it at a thrift store. Stranger Things shirt I found. And I sent this to Versha the other day because I was like, mind blown. So I found this shirt in the thrift store. Yes, it's very feminine. I think it's a woman's shirt, but he's into like Hawaiian prints and stuff. And he dresses, if you've seen Wrigley, he dresses very similar to Dustin in Stranger Things. He always has like not always, but a lot of times if he's not dressing like super athletic boy, he's got like a button up floral or patterned shirt of some kind. Here's an example. A couple examples for you all to know Wrigley's basic attire. He'll wear one of these either with a white shirt buttoned up, or he'll wear like a graphic tee underneath, similar to how Dustin dresses in Stranger Things. Of course, that's his favorite character. I love Dustin as well. But anywho, I digress. So he wore that today. And funny enough, within a minute, so I took that at 1:11. Maybe it's more than a minute. A couple minutes, the song was playing, Running Up That Hill by Kate Bush. So 4 minutes later, so from 1:15, so from 1:11, when I found the shirt, I didn't get it. I left it there and I kept walking. And in that first video, people were talking right beside me, so you couldn't hear it. But can you hear it? And then of course, I showed Wrigley the picture of the shirt and Boston this picture of his high school Spartans. So they wanted to go back, and of course $50 later they have a whole new wardrobe again. So he got the shirt. He wore it today. He's been watching it a lot at his grandparents on the weekends. Maybe too much TV time on the weekends, but he's still in season 4. So he's catching up to where I'm at. But yeah, that happens to me all the time. Fake snow. The fake snow. I've been talking about the fake snow for at least 7 years now, here and other places. I'm over it. The only snow we have had here in Montana this year has been fake snow. So to me, it's almost like, are the poles shifting? And because Montana, like we're talking pre-pole shift, last pole shift, was like a tropical kind of perpetual spring kind of environment here. I'm wondering if we're somehow going back to that. This is the weirdest, and every winter pretty much since 2012 or so has been the weirdest winter I've ever experienced in Montana. And then the year after is the weirdest. And then the year after trumps that one. And it just keeps getting weirder and weirder. So it's all engineered at this point. I'm just going to go. I don't care if I sound crazy. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say a lot, if not most of the weather is engineered at this point. They're not even allowing Mother Nature to do what she wants to do at all anymore, I don't think. And they've openly admitted it. We used to be called conspiracy theorists. Get your silver-lined tinfoil hat on, friends, because they're now openly admitting it, and there are certain states that are trying to ban the chem and the trail, you know what I'm trying to say, from happening in their state. But where goes conspiracy theorists? I don't know. Tinfoil hat time. Yeah, ooh, I knew this storm was to divert attention from the people from something. Yeah, the Epstein file drop. Everybody stopped paying attention to that with this whole ice invasion, literal and figurative. Literal and literal, actually. Literal and literal. Ice attack. Yeah, the cold felt much different. It was almost made in a lab. Yes! It's like cold that almost has a burn to it, but not like a heat burn, but more like a chemical burn. Like my kids would be making, and you know, we were just, this was not this winter, this was last winter, making snowballs like on the stuff that accumulates on the railings of our deck and just throw them at each other as we walk in the house from the driveway. And I came in and I'm like, my hands feel like they are chemically burned from the cold heat of this snow. It's not just that cold that you would experience holding real true ice, which are crystals, right? And a lot of the crystals, oh, I didn't show you guys this video. The last snow we did get, it was in clumps this big. The video does not do it justice. They look closer to this big in the video. I swear to you on my life, they were this big. Like salad plate sized clumps, maybe slightly smaller than a salad plate. Clumps of snow. It does not look like it in the video, but I promise you, that's how big these were. And that's another thing I was going to say when I took this, because I took a video for my husband and I'm like, there's something wrong. This is wrong. This was in less than a minute, probably since it started snowing. Look at that. But it's almost like what you're seeing with your eyes, you can't even capture on camera. Because like, have you ever tried, I mean, yes, there are certain settings you can do on your phone to capture the moon better, but think of all the times what you see with your eyes, you're not able to capture on even your iPhone of a picture of the moon or something going on in the sky usually. It's not what you're seeing, or it's maybe something you're not seeing, the phone is seeing. They're messing somehow with the photography. I don't know how to put that into words, but maybe vibrationally and energetically you can pick up what I'm throwing down about it. Yeah, another one is in the making for the upcoming weekend here. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, when they had that Pineapple Express atmospheric river. Again, never heard the term atmospheric river in my life. I'm sure it probably existed, but not so much that I ever had to experience it kind of removed from the Pacific Northwest. I'm not in the Midwest, but I'm not in the Pacific Northwest. I'm somewhere kind of between. Closer to the Pacific Northwest than I am the Midwest, if that makes sense. If you look on a map, I'm kind of at the nostril of the little the little nose. Someone said that Montana bordering Idaho looks like Joe Biden sniffing some lady's hair, and I can't unsee it now. So I'm like somewhere up near Joe Biden's nostril. I'll show you. So I'm more considered Pacific Northwest, but not like rainforest Pacific Northwest. Mountainous Northwest, if that makes sense. Because the east part of our state is just flat and windy and cold as F in the winter. Windy, like 100-mile-an-hour winds. Like who would live there? Nobody. I mean, people do, but I live in the beautiful Glacier National Park, Yellowstone. I live between Glacier and Yellowstone. The beauty of it all. Treacherous, mountainous areas, yes, but beautiful. Montana map. I'll just show you guys kind of. I don't need to be sold to, please. Just let me. Does that not look like Joe Biden's profile sniffing someone's hair? But I'm like, let me see. So I'm up from the nostril. Where am I? God. Right here. No, it was not the nostrils, like the eye, like the top of the eye. Right here. like the top of the nose where the eye kind of is. Um, but funny enough, there's this vortex that is where I was born is kind of almost the center point, and I know Anna was here a moment ago. We were talking about that at one point. Like the hospital I was born in is almost exact center point of this vortex that also includes like down into like Dillon, Montana. Missoula's included in this kind of you draw a circle around the center point of the vortex. It's a really powerful place in certain places. Obviously, we have FG towers in this town and all that fun stuff. But when you can get out in nature, really mystical things can happen in this area. Like so many crazy cool things and kind of scary things as well, if I'm being honest. Um, I love nature. Love it. Yeah, another thing in the making for the upcoming weekend. Yeah, crazy. Yeah, they don't want us to use this powerful energy. Real Xmas. Exactly. They don't. Yeah, they gotta divert all of that energy and resourceful power to themselves to maintain this false structure that is rapidly declining and falling apart. Lots of holes in that fabric of that fake reality, for sure. Yeah, it's not the storm that's the main agenda, it's what they don't want people to focus on. Exactly. Yeah, my boyfriend's name is Alex, and so is my brother's. Oh, that's cool. Defender of the people. It's a very valiant name. Gallant and valiant. Is it valiant? Gallant, very gallant. Warrior. Yeah, that's dope. I love that. I used to say dope all the time in 2003. That was my favorite word. Like, you're so dope. I mean, silly dilly dope fresh. My friends and I were so cool. I say that very sarcastically. I always thought I was Pisces, Leo, but this says I'm Pisces, Cancer, Cancer. Oh my gosh. Yeah. If you do the like true sidereal astrology, it will put you back 24 degrees. So as a 24-degree Libra ascendant in Western astrology, if you do the Lahiri Ayanamsha Vedic or the Vedic Lahiri Ayanamsha, I'm at 0.03 degrees of Libra. But if you do the Fagan Bradley Ayanamsha, which is more even true alignment with the Hellenistic Babylonian original astrology, in true alignment with the stars, I am a 29 whatever degree and however many minute Virgo ascendant. And the 12th house, if you're doing the systems correct, like their true size, if that makes sense. So you might have Virgo taking up 3 houses of your chart. And you'll still have your Leo and your all the other signs will be represented, but they'll just be maybe just part of your 3rd house or part of your 10th house. And then maybe Cancer's part of that 10th house as well. And so is Gemini. Like how it overlaps if you use Mastering the Zodiac and use his true sidereal placement, using the true size of the constellations that we are basing these calculations off of. So you would probably want to be as true to what's actually existing as you can, right? But that's how they hijack and manipulate in this false matrix. Like, no, use this false system that we created. It still works. Let's be very honest. It still works because so many of us have paid attention, spent our time believing in it. We have created a monster or an egregore or a whatever you want to call it, a pendulum. That makes that now also a reality. But you will notice, this is the weird thing, you will notice when you start pulling away, like just as an example, if you start pulling away from tropical astrology and go into like true sidereal astrology, you're going to see a reality shift to where true sidereal astrology resonates to a T, and maybe part of tropical still does, but not to the degree it once did. Because tropical, you want to know what's going on in the matrix? Tropical is your guy. Boots on the ground, tropical astrology will tell you all the tea in the matrix because that's a matrix system, right? True sidereal is taking a snapshot of what was here before this false matrix was put in, if that makes sense. Yeah, AI snow. You're right on it. Yeah. So to me, it's very valuable and important to know what's going on. Have your finger on the pulse of tropical. Have your finger on the pulse of, your Vedic chart, and then also the true sidereal astrology that's very in alignment with what the stars are actually calculated as, and then what that means for us here. because we're not just tropical astrology humans in this false matrix. We also have that spark of spirit that is resonating with that true sidereal astrology within us. So we're both and neither all at once, because when we're not incarnated on earth, none of it applies to us. It can't contain our spirit in a box unless we're here in this false matrix, if that makes sense. Hope that makes sense. So it's a very valuable tool, very valuable. Either way you look at it. Yeah, the cold outside yesterday felt artificial cold, even if it was in the teens. Yeah, tinfoil hat, foiled, reflective, showing things we can't see hat. I love it. So true. Yeah, since 2020, the snow became like what you showed up in Milwaukee. Yeah, tinfoil hat theory. The beauty industry pumped lots of money into our phone cameras being HD to sell us more. Probably, I do not at all disagree. It's probably very true. Yeah. Matrimony, matrix tea, matrimony. Ooh, yeah. Sorry, the words are just boom, boom, bam. No, you're right on it. Oh my gosh. All that being said, we're an hour and 5 minutes. I probably should start our reading, collective reading. I mean, we've been kind of just spilling the tea on what's been going on and catching up and having fun, all the things. Let's go here. No, let's go here. We're going to use the Brit's Third Eye Tarot. John, oh my gosh, how have you been? It's been so long. I hope you're doing well, you and Miss R. Yeah, I haven't been here in a while, wondering if the sky has distorted or changed since then. Yeah, for sure. Might change drastically over time after apocalyptic events and pole shifts. Yeah, the sky is skying. That's for sure. It's definitely something. What do they say? I smell a fish, or I don't remember. It's like something smells off. Something smells fishy out here. And funny, smell is in human design, smell was my main sense or whatever, which I have. If I smell something I smelled when I was 2 years old, I am back in that place. Even if I completely forgot about it, it unlocks all those memories. So it's so weird. I have it's the one sense too, if you think about it. Well, not the one, it's one of the senses you can't easily inject into your art because there's no such thing as smell-o-vision. You can see it and hear it. Sure, you can immerse yourself in those senses with art, but smell is unless you're like in person with these people and they're creating candles or perfumes or something like that. But otherwise, to infuse smell in your artistic creations is very difficult. I've tried, believe me. All right. Oh, you're doing good. Good. So glad. All right. What do we need to know? Ooh, we have the 4 of Wands. Look at all those powers and magics coming together. People from all over. Look at this. Coming together to weave our magic and create, not even that we're creating something from scratch or that's never existed. We're just collapsing the false, friendships, the false, holidays, the false, just anything that's not resonating with us anymore. Even if we're not like in a group with people, just as the collective that is waking up, we are affecting like the ripple effects of our creations, our processes, our awakening, our dark nights of the soul, our love in our hearts are rippling out to touch and morph and meld and weave with all the others that are also waking up, and those that aren't as well, obviously. But this is really highlighting and representing those who are waking up right now, and how even if you feel alone potentially in your little home or community or state or country or whatever, you're not alone. And this also is a card that's dealing with matrimony or, signing of a contract, merging households or moving to a new place, energetically, literally, figuratively speaking. Let's see what else we need to know. What else do we need to know right now? Just all this craziness and chaos, but also the beauty of allowing things to slough off, or the veil is so thin, we're seeing all the holes in this matrix that it's becoming very obvious their agenda is what they're doing. What do we need to know about all this? Because I'm just coming in now. This didn't occur to me until just now. It's like being downloaded or transmitted. That sounded gross. Transmitted diseases. It's like a transmission of a car. No, of information, a transmission of information of how things are gonna amp up out there. It's gonna look really crazy. Really crazy. Oh, you moved and got a new car and a new job. Oh my gosh, you're just doing all the new things. I love that, Michelle. That's awesome. But yeah, I see the craziness is amping up before it dies down again. And I see this kind of leading and kind of coming to, because of course we have I'd say about 21-ish days, 21-ish days from today, which is actually my 22-year dating anniversary with my husband, 22 years since we started dating, and it's 12/12. But I was going to say, between now and the eclipse that's happening, the solar eclipse that's happening on February 17th, 21-ish days, 22 maybe, 22, I don't know, 29, 30, 31 plus 17, 20 days from now. Yeah, there's an eclipse. That's going to amp it up even more. And I see a lot of times they amp these antics and escapades up coming into that kind of Easter time. That's a huge, we also have a big sacrifice of the Super Bowl coming up. That's a big sacrifice time. A lot of human people are being trafficked at that time. Lots of people. Really bad time. Again, the Super Bowl itself is meant as a distraction for a lot of this nefarious underground networking activity. So we have the eclipse. Well, Super Bowl probably first. I don't know what day that is, and I don't care. I don't watch it. Super Bowl, eclipse, moving us up to Easter. That's a huge sacrifice time right there. And then I start to kind of see things, not that things are completely dead, but like things will die down energetically as far as them. They know they can only turn the heat up so much before the boiled frogs jump out. I think so many of us have already jumped out because we're like, no, this is absolute crazy, absolute chaos. The fact they're just literally executing people in the street. I mean, if that doesn't tell you something, I don't know what will. The fact that they're not hiding it anymore. They're not hiding it. So some of these boiled frogs have jumped out. So they're gonna amp it up because they know if they don't, they're gonna completely lose power. But if they amp it up too much, they'll also lose power. So they kind of have to walk the line, but they're over the line already. So I can only imagine what they're gonna be doing. Super Bowl, eclipse, Easter, just kind of this whole next kind of winter going into spring corridor. There's a lot of room for their antics. Let's just see what antics they have planned. Doesn't mean they'll happen, but this is what they have planned. Okay, again, I heard power to the people, but they're hoping to negate that or to keep that from happening. So there may be a lot of more protesting or people standing up, people enraged, angry about what's going on, people getting into fights in their own families, people disowning people. There's a lot of crazy coming in. But also on the other side of that coin, people are doubling down into their authentic selves or their true spirit, speaking their truth. Even if speaking your truth looks like completely hibernating away from the crazy out in the collective, that can also be a sign of your strength and your power. You don't have to, just because all this craziness is going on, mean you have to feed it. You don't have to feed it. You can, yes, Brianna, go into your own coven. That's exactly it. Because this is what they want to happen, is everybody to, get crazy so they have an excuse to go after us. Ooh, look what just came out. It's almost like there's a war of the masculine and feminine. I'm not saying divine masculine and divine feminine, because they don't need to go to war. The divine doesn't ever need to go to war. This is the embodied, maybe more feminist, because the Queen of Wands is the most sovereign of all queens, meaning I don't need no man, or if I do, it's going to be on my terms. So you might see these agendas of like the 4B movement amp up over these next few months. those crypto gods, crypto kings, people. I'm kind of reading almost this like, I would say more King of Wands would be more like that red pill community that's kind of adverse to this community, but this is more people are kind of like scrambling for stability. Maybe there's a big stock market thing that's coming up, just to be aware of, or some big thing signed by a president or something about. It's very much about assets. That could be homes, that could be investments, retirements, stuff with banks, like bank failures or bailouts or something. But it's just making people, whatever this is, it's getting people up in arms. It's angering. People are angry over these next few months. People are angry. Even if they're not paying attention to the news, their personal lives feel very tumultuous. A lot of fights with their spouses, their kids, people at work. Like, again, this is us tuning into the collective and what these entities are out here to orchestrate. Again, doesn't mean some bank falls, I feel. Oh, very well could be. Ooh. Okay. It's funny. Schedule overload. I mean, do those two not go together? This is what they want. They want us sick and tired and busy and distracted. They want us overworked, overscheduled. So there's just a lot of excess. So for my personal advice to you guys would be, don't overschedule yourself. Or in fact, if you're going to overload your schedule, overload it with free time. As much free time as you can inject into your schedule, do it. Because time is going to speed up even more. It's going to be almost feeling like it's impossible to even get like 2 or 3 tasks done in a day, whether it's scheduled or not, because time is just speeding up again and again and again, even more. But do not fret, because time is an illusion. We need to keep that in our hearts and remember, even if it's, they're speeding up time in this false matrix, time doesn't truly exist, not the way we think it does. Exactly, Versha. It's a free for all. It is an illusion, absolutely. So this is what your people who haven't been hip to the jive of what's actually going on beneath the surface of all these agendas and news and politics and religions and movements, they're going to be feeling very overscheduled, very overloaded, time's flying by. But again, that's to say, if you interject a lot of free time or inject a lot of free time into your schedule, it's almost how you can stop time. Or sometimes, though, I do notice when I'm like in the flow with my writing in my creative space, time kind of does fly, but then other times it stands completely still. And I feel like I got like 5 hours worth of work done in 2 hours or something like that. So time is something we can play with, we can manipulate. It's that rubber band. We can stretch it out as far as we need, or kind of expand, contract it again, however we need to. Yeah, if you wake up from the dream, time doesn't exist for you, not according to this clock. And this clock is the one they want us constantly chasing by overscheduling, overworking, overloading, overscheduling ourselves. We don't have to participate, though. That's the beauty here. We do not have to participate. Breath work. Get in the now moment. You want time to stretch out again? You just sit with your breath for 5 minutes. It's going to feel like 12 minutes, 15 minutes. Time feels like an eternity when you slow down. You make the conscious choice to slow down. Time can start to feel like an eternity again, which I guess could be a good or bad thing. Who knows? Let's get a couple tea leaves, and then we will end with this deck. Wisdom from the hidden realms, or of the hidden realms? Of the hidden realms. All right, tea leaves. What are they trying to throw at us? Just so we can be prepared, what are they trying to throw at us over these next few months? We're going to do a more in-depth eclipse reading coming up for this next eclipse cycle, so stay tuned for that. But I'm whatever this is feels very pertinent to whatever is going to be happening in the eclipse. Cobweb and Bell. They're trying to get us in these sticky traps, sticky webs. But look what this cobweb is saying. Protected from negative forces beyond your control. And this is not anything extra you have to do, or, mantras you have to say, or, rituals you have to do to protect yourself. This is just innate spiritual protection. that is going to be built into your something with I have chills. Something with the shift in the electromagnetic frequencies and these solar storms that are going on. This is restoring our just innate natural bioshields to protect us from getting a huge download. Oh, God. So as they built this false matrix, they dismantled this just innate DNA cellular level protection that was born in the human aura. They dismantled it, they turned it off, they disabled it. It's coming back online. I have chills, you guys. This is huge. Because if you could just have your own innate DNA cellular level protective shield up without you having to consciously make an it's almost like your automatic breathing that you do when you're not thinking about breathing. You can take it over if you want. You can take over your breath. You can stop your own breath. You can expand your breath. You can shallow your breath. And then when you're busy doing something else, your kind of innate system takes over that breath. And I'm seeing a very similar thing coming up with our protective shields, specifically around frequencies that they've turned up again. They've turned the dial up again, especially with all this geoengineering and stuff they're doing with the weather. There's something with the frequencies that it's reached like a fever pitch with people that our own, because it's gone so far from nature, it actually worked again with these the energy coming through the sun. It's not coming from the sun, it's coming through the sun. It's coming beyond this universe, this false anything. It's coming from true source through our sun to get into, whatever our sun is, whether it's what's real or a simulator, or that does not matter in the context of what I'm getting, because whatever is coming is utilizing the sun as a portal in whatever way it needs to come directly from true pure source, to come in. So they've gone so far from our natural resonance, frequency, vibration, and state with these false frequencies they're blasting us with. Basically, they're microwaving us in tandem and at the same time as these source codes are coming in to bring it online. So even if source wasn't coming in, because they've gone so far from what's true to our nature, our own spirit would have stepped in and intervened and put up these fail safes or dismantled. They dismantled our natural protection, would have remantled. I know that's not a word, but I'm using it anyway. Our innate bioshield. What's the other one again? Bell announcement. And bells have been coming up. Remember, it's time. The clock is striking whatever. Chime, chime, chime. There's an announcement. And the announcement is, what is this announcement? What is it they're throwing at us? At some sort of announcement. They're throwing things at us that are so against human life, animal life, plant life, that source is intervening and bringing these codes through at this time to basically counteract whatever these frequencies are doing, to basically negate them or null and void these frequencies, to bring, it's not, okay, wow. Remember when we were talking about bells, those of you that come here and remember about how they dismantled the bells system. Chills all over. They dismantled the bells because it was the natural healing frequency. That is coming back online. Even if there's not these bells up there to represent it, the ether, the access to the ether through which this energy would be transported, we're gaining that access back. What they're throwing at us has actually worked an exact opposite of what they were hoping. And it's funny because I kind of looked at this and glanced away. It kind of is that, I think that's Earth. In human design, it's like a circle with a cross through it. But I can't remember what just like this cross represents in like mythology and like symbolism. I can't remember off the top of my head. But when I kind of just glanced at it real quick, it almost looked like skulls are lining this bell. But to me, it's almost like a well. Look at it. It's almost like the divine feminine is coming back online. And now I'm seeing my dream, those empty channels of like pool, they were like canals or channels that were like, they just went on and on and on, but there was no water in them. Now I see water being restored. Again, that dream I had is now coming back to me in my mind's eye, and I'm seeing them being filled with water, and pure water, source coded water. And I'm seeing it actually come up from somewhere in inner earth, untainted by all the stuff they're spraying and putting in everything and their plastics and their chemicals. It's untainted, pure source, living waters. And that's very much associated with the divine feminine. I just have had chills this whole time, you guys. I did not expect today's little collective reading to go this deep, but we're going deep today. Deeper than the wells. We're going to inner earth, apparently. Not literally, but like, you know what I'm saying. Yes. Oh my gosh. Let me catch up on comments and then we're going to pull our last cards, like advice, wisdom, guidance. What is this? What does this mean? What does it all mean? I saw the electromagnetic field of higher consciousness, Earth, come online back in December. Yeah, and it's getting ramped up with the incoming light and solar storms. And that's why they've had to turn their dials that basically to 100 and get a bunch of these boiled frogs jumping out because they're desperate, because these codes are coming in so fast they can't keep up with it, to where they've had to just almost quantum leap they've had to go from 80 degrees to 120. You're going to notice that in like the span of a week compared to the span of 5-10 years that they were slowly turning up the heat on us. They've had to amp up their timeline because they have to. They're dying. They are passing away as we speak. Yeah. I love it. Yeah. And then all because of the work conscious beings are doing and becoming aware and being present. We're just literally acting as anchors to allow this, like the lighthouse. The lighthouse doesn't have to move and go do all these crazy things. It just stands there and it shines its own light. That's all it has to do. So we're acting almost these lighthouse anchor points that are coming up online and lighting up the darkness, the shadows. That alone would be enough. But there's so many like layers to what's going on right now that it's like almost like the bad guys can't keep up. Source can keep up, obviously, because source is source, but it's almost like we as humans experiencing both the false and the true, we almost can't keep up. It's almost like our bodies are having, and you think about it, your nervous system, your bones, your joints, your whatever ailments you've been having, the pain almost feels like flu-like body ache kind of symptoms that I've been having, Bersha's been having. I'm sure some of the others of you have. But I do say though, the cleaner you can keep your vessel, your diet, your detox protocols, the better off you're going to be as you anchor it. You release the density and anchor in the new codes, the new energy, for sure. I just saw a new video that said that the so-called solar flare may happen this year itself, and our shields, the one you just tapped into, will protect us. There you go. I have chills. They're coming online in ways that we haven't had access to because it's been dismantled. I kind of want to just look up the word mantle. I know there's something in the earth they call the mantle. Again, my geography days are long behind me. I think I learned like earth science in like 8th grade. So let me just see. Mantle definition. Okay, a loose sleeveless cloak or shawl worn especially by women. That's a form of a mantle. An important role or responsibility that passes from one person to another. And the example is the second son now has assumed his father's mantle. Above the fireplace, the mantle, right? Or also clothe as in a mantle, cloak, or envelope. Oh, clothe as in or as if in a mantle, cloak, or envelope. Heavy mist mantled the forest slopes is an example. A bird of prey. Oops, where'd it go? Oops, I just lost it. Where'd it go? It said a bird of prey. I just clicked view more and then it disappeared. Anyway, a bird's back, scapulars, and wing coverts, especially when of a distinctive color. Oh, dark gray mantle. Okay. So we're getting reference to like the mantle of the home, kind of the heart of the home, right? Jessa, she's my hearth witch. Hestia. Yeah, and then the outer enclosing or layer of tissue, especially in mollusks, cirripedes, cirripedes. It's been a while since I've been in biology and geology and geography and all that fun stuff. And brachiopods. a fold of skin enclosing the viscera and secreting the substance that produces the shell. Our secret secretions, our divine feminine secretions are coming back online. An important role or responsibility that passes from one person to another. A fragile mesh cover fixed around a gas jet, kerosene wick, etc., to give an incandescent light when heated. There's so many more terms of mantle than I even knew. I was just thinking like, oh, the Earth's mantle, whatever, whatever. The region of the Earth's interior between the crust and the core. We were just talking about inner Earth, remember? Dismantle. They tried and have dismantled, but that doesn't mean it can't remantle. Again, I just made that word up, but you guys know what I'm trying to say. Yeah, between the crust and the core, believed to consist of hot, dense silicate rocks and peridotite. That's a hard one to say. Magmas erupted at the mid-ocean ridges are derived from upper mantle. Oh, that's another thing I was going to say. A lot of like earthquake stuff and the movement of like Marianas Trench. That's the one specifically that's coming to my mind. It's like the deep, 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 deep one. There's something going on with Marianas Trench. I don't know if we'll hear about it in the news or whatever, but like energetically, there's something going on in that region of our Earth energetically right now and into these next few months. There's even a band called Marianas Trench, and I just heard Google a song about that, and maybe the lyrics will tell us something. We'll do that right after this. Third person mantles, present tense mantled. Okay, we don't need to know the tenses. Arabic or archaic. Why did I say Arabic? Archaic. Of blood, suffuse, the face. A warm pink mounted to the girl's cheeks and mantled her brow. Of blood. Archaic. Of the face, glow with a blush. Her rich face mantling with emotion. Of a liquid, becoming covered with a head or froth. Ooh, I'm covered with my head. My head's covered. The poison mantled in the bowl. Oh, of a bird of prey on the ground or on a perch, spread the wings and tail so far to cover captured prey. The female goshawk is feeding while mantling with spreading wings over her prey. Does that not remind us of the two corrupt wings of the same bird? And also the phoenix rising from the ashes? Okay, that's probably enough of that. But let's Google Marianas Trench songs. And I'll just take the first one that pops up. Who do you love? Yeah, so pop band. So we'll just look at the lyrics for Who Do You Love? Okay. Well, I've been deep in sleeplessness. I don't know why. Just can't get away from myself. When I get back on feet, I'll blow this open wide and carry me home in good health. God, it's been so long, wide awake, that I feel like someone else. I'll miss the way that you saw me, or maybe the way I saw myself. But I came back to you broken, and I've been away too long. I hear the words I've spoken, and everything comes out wrong. Versha, you were saying that. I just can't get this together, can't get where I belong. Who do you love? Who do you love? Who do you love? Who do you love? Well, I've been deep in this sleeplessness. I don't know why. I just can't get away from myself. When I get back on my feet, I'll blow this open wide and carry me home in good health, screaming, who do you love? Who do you love? Who do you love? Over and over and over. From fable to fumble, from stable to stumble, nevermore, I'll say goodbye to my demons and all my break evens. Ever yours. Wow. I won't come back to you broken. I won't stay away too long. Even if words I've spoken seem to still come out wrong, I'll get my ish together, back together, get right where I belong. Who do you love? Who do you love? Who do you love? And then it repeats all that we've already read. So, yeah, I'm feeling like this buildup, like something's got to give. Something's got to blow. Like, again, it could be volcanic, but I'm very much feeling like a shifting of plates. Let me just Google Marianas Trench, the actual Marianas Trench, and find that location. Let's just go to the news or see if there's any kind of news about it. Okay, so again, I don't like using Google, but I'm using it just for the sake of getting to the bottom of this AI shit. Here we go. An AI and false matrix. You know what I'm saying. So Grist says Trump sets sights on Pacific seafloor near Marianas Trench. More than 60,000 oppose deep sea mining near Marianas Trench. This was 2 weeks ago. So I have not heard of this at all. And also the band Marianas Trench was live in August. Plastic bag found at bottom of world's deepest ocean trench. Of course it was. Gross. What Trump's inexplicable plan to mine the Marianas Trench could mean for the Pacific. Okay, so there may be more talk of this mining, or I'm feeling though energetically something's pressure that needs to offload or disengage from where it was. It's almost like a zit that needs a pop. Like, so I'm seeing in my mind's eye, which could be volcanic. It could be just energy needing to escape somehow, or I'm hearing there's something that when the false matrix was mantled, put over it like a cloak, there was something that was buried, maybe not literally, but I'm also seeing there's some physical evidence of this, or would be if someone were to go, not that we're allowed there probably, but if you were to go there, you'd find some physical evidence of what things were like before the matrix was put in place. And I'm almost seeing it like a reverse black hole, like it's spitting out everything that was shoved down. What does that mean? Anyway, I could keep going on and on and on, and I probably shouldn't because I got things to do later, but okay. These can be the ally or I always forget the opposite, but it came out in reverse. It's the Ice Queen card. We've been talking a lot about ice and the divine feminine. I mean, you can't make this up. There's my birthday number, 28. Adds up to a 1. We're in a year 1 right now. It's the 28th of January in a year 1 right now. It's a 28 day. Well, it wouldn't be if you add up 1 plus 2 plus 8 plus 2026. It wouldn't add up to a 1, I don't think. No. Maybe. No, because we'd have an extra 1. Let's see. 2026 adds up to a 1. Plus January is a 1, and then 28 is a 1. So it's a 1 day. But if you add up those 3 ones, it equals 3. Today's a 3 day, but I just heard divine feminine plus divine masculine. 1 plus 1 equals 3. Because when divine masculine and divine feminine come together, both within us and in a true divine feminine masculine partnership, it creates this third almost entity, but entity is probably the wrong word, energy that is unpenetrable from the matrix. That's why I think they wanted people that were on these different twin flame journeys and stuff, they wanted to make it seem like it's like a false flag, or it's that's a false twin, that's a, or demonize it in some way. But the true like twin flame dynamic can't be touched by the matrix, and that terrifies them. Ideas preserved, non-action, and entitlement. But remember, it came up in reverse. Transformer, yeah, that's what this reminds me of. The Allspark was like, I can't remember if that was at Antarctica or the North Pole or somewhere. There's no physical North Pole as far as I know. It's just ocean where the North Pole's supposed to be, supposedly. This is... This kind of looks like a dream sequence in my book 1 that my main character has, in a way, minus the owl. All the rest of it, I'm like, wow. Anyway, ideas preserved. Again, it came out in reverse. So those ideas that were preserved, or those physical things that were preserved below the false matrix, that were hidden away, locked away, spirited away, are coming or rising back to the surface. The pressure is built so much, not only because of what nefarious frequencies they've been blasting, but those codes coming from the sun. have basically made it so those ideas that were preserved kind of almost incubating, or not incubating, but like kind of in a stasis almost, are rising and ready to come alive again and be in motion, because that non-action is turning to action. And the entitlement that this false system is set upon is reversing and giving the power back to the animals, Mother Earth, the people. Again, it's not all going to happen overnight, but we're going to be able potentially to energetically point back to this time in history as alarm bells of basically ding, 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 time's up, false matrix. Our shields are coming back online. You can't keep us in your web anymore. This false web you put over things, because we're protected from that now. Wow. I could just keep reading and reading and reading on this, but we should probably get to people's donations. I hope you guys enjoyed this so far, almost hour and 40-minute live stream that we're just having so much fun. I'm having so much fun today. I missed you guys on Friday. I'm always like, when I can't go live, because I love this. I love this. Just hanging out with you guys and hearing your thoughts on things and just seeing what comes through in these readings. I'm always blown away. Like, I just thought, oh, we'll just read on the energy, see what's going on. Did not expect all this, so I get a front row seat right with you guys. It's not like any of this was pre-planned to talk about or anything. It just, here it was. I love it. Sometimes I pre-plan my little webinars and stuff, but today I just was going to fly by the seat of my pants and see what we needed to know. Evidence was on the back of the deck as I'm putting things away. We're going to see a lot more evidence of their nefariousness, their bad deeds. Yeah. Let me go back up. I think I skipped some. Yeah, I saw a new video. Oh, I read that one. Materials of the bells were changed due to their properties. Yeah. Yeah, there's mantle in the earth built up. For me personally, I got a major upgrade in February, and with this collective and solar eclipse happening in February, a lot is happening. Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, I saw a video about tectonic plates moving faster and showing a lot of activity in the Ring of Fire on Earth. And I want to say Marianas Trenches are in the Ring of Fire somewhere. I could be wrong, but I think that's where it's at. I'm going to Google. Let's just see where it is. Yes, it's located within the Pacific Ring of Fire. Okay, I thought so. Let's see if we can get an image of it. So for those of you that are like, what the heck's the Ring of Fire? It's the tectonic plates all the way around all of this. And you see the different trenches there. See Marianas Trench out here. That's not what I meant to do. Go back. Right here. So it's kind of more above Australia, below Japan, kind of in that region, if that makes sense. Yeah, I got a major upgrade. Oh, I read that part. Yes, video about the plates. With Ice Queen, I remembered the Narnia movie and got chills. And think of also Princess Elsa, is that her name? From Frozen? Elsa and Anna, right? I think those are their names. Yeah. Narnia movie, got chills. It was about reclaiming what was authentic and belonged to the creatures. Yes. That's so true. Whoever, I can't remember the person that wrote that, the guy, what his name is. It's like on the tip of my awareness. Doesn't matter. But I think he was trying to embed codes of awakening in his work. And I've never read his work, but just when I tune in, it's not C.S. Lewis, that's someone else. Ugh, it's going to bother me, but it's fine. It doesn't matter. Oh, the Greenland part is also important. Yes, because again, the ice. And to me, weirdly, as weird as this may sound, it feels to me like Greenland was energetically and engineeringly, that's not a word either. You know what I'm trying to say. Like falsely put under ice within this matrix to hide something below it, beneath it, under it, from coming out or rising up. And correct me if I'm wrong, I haven't read a lot about Greenland, just maybe that Trump's interested in something about it. And again, I don't know what that something might be. Probably resources or something. I don't know. Didn't read about it, but I heard about it. Kind of just reading headlines without clicking in and then reading the articles. You know what I'm saying? But to me, energetically speaking, there's something very rich and vital to just the natural order of things that's being suppressed there. There's, again, Marianas Trench, Greenland. There are suppression points all over this damn continent, country, world, earth, everywhere. There are different, almost like I'm seeing them like pressure points. Like, you don't have to be strong to just press someone's pressure point and literally bring them to their knees. That's how the false matrix was able to kind of push on certain pressure points of the earth, so to speak, because I'm kind of seeing it like a small lady takes a man at a certain pressure point. I'm seeing like in the arm that was going to come at her, and she pushes the pressure point and brings the big guy to his knees, and she's safe. But that's almost, though, what I'm seeing as like an undoing of that. And now in this example, we're the big guy, and the false matrix is the lady that brought it to its knees, because it's physically, just physically speaking, much weaker than the true blueprint. The false matrix is much weaker. But because it just had like a kind of a cheat code to get this thing of immense beauty and power on its knees, it did that. But the time's up. The pressure is coming off. The pressure valve needs to pop, to blow, to burst forth. Yeah, I love it. Yes, you can get a timestamp. You'll have to go. Yeah, I've been long-winded today, and I apologize for that. But hopefully you guys are enjoying the conversation. Yeah, he wants to buy it and make it part of the USA. Okay, that tracks with what all he's doing, I'm sure. With what money? Aren't we like so far in debt in the US that it's not even funny? With what money? I mean, come on now. I want to buy your country, your continent. It's not quite a continent in and of itself. I think it's part of North America, maybe? I don't remember geography. Oh, this was great. Oh, good. This has been a mind-blowing conversation. I love it. Okay, so I know we have a few donations, so I am going to get my timestamp pencil ready to go. And we're going to go to my email and see what's up. What's up, dog? Okay. So with Brianna and Jessa, both one-card pulls. And I will read the question and then start the timer and try. Oh yeah, even the Venezuela thing. Like none of this is all very orchestrated and systematic and plot points in story of what's going on right now. So, I just in my mind's eye saw the Michael Jackson meme of him eating popcorn for the show, It's kind of how it feels. Okay, so let's go to the email, PayPal email for Brianna. What does true authentic spirit want me to know right now? Let's find out for Brianna what true authentic spirit wants Brianna to know right now. What's coming for, and let's timestamp 1:47:14. Okay. What does Brianna need to know in alignment with true authentic spirit right now? What does she need to know? We have the Knight of Wands. You're very lit up, passionate, inspired, motivated, excited about something. And this energy is going to carry you. I see through, I heard Gemini, new moon, which is when the sun and moon are together. So that's during Gemini season. So there's something you are potentially like, what's the word? Like dropping, like, oh, I just have this new drop of this thing I've been working on, or like a premiere of something around the new moon in Gemini, which would be different between Western and Vedic. But I'm hearing true placement. So that would push it into July sometime, I believe. Oh, I thought it was buying. Apologies for the wrong info. Oh, not buying. Expects it to be a gift. Okay, I'm like, with what money? Of course he expects it to be a gift. Oh my gosh, really? I'm color me not shocked, because that just tracks. Gosh. Even Venezuela. Oh my gosh. Brianna. Sorry, There's nothing I'm hearing the song Celine Dion, It's All Coming Back to Me Now. I think it's from the it's early to mid 90s that song came out. Um, it's like, if you want me like this, then you kiss me like that, something, something, it's all coming back to me. That tracks with what we were just uncovering. Your powers, your gifts, your sovereignty, your authenticity, your connection to your spirit. It's so I'll read the lyrics of this, but let's put it in context of your spirit talking to you about, coming back online basically. Uh so Celine. Okay. So there were nights when the wind was so cold that my body froze in bed. If I just listened to it right outside the window, there were days when the sun was so cruel, and this almost looks like a sun in the sky, but it's heart shaped, that all the tears turned to dust, and I just knew my eyes were drying up forever, forever. I finished crying in the instant that you left, and I can't remember where. Timer's going off, doesn't matter. Where or when or how, and banished every memory you and I ever had made. So this almost feels like the first part of this is from your human to your spirit, but then the chorus part will be your spirit to your human aspect. Um, yes, coming online and staying there. Yes. But when you touch me like this and you hold me like that, I just have to admit that it's all coming back to me. When I touch you like this and I hold you like that, it's hard to believe, but it's all coming back to me. It's all coming back. It's all coming back to me now. There were moments of gold. There were flashes of light. There were things I'd never do again, but then they'd always seemed right. Yeah, again, it's like I just go back to sleep because it just feels right in the moment. No, you're not doing that. Yes, love letter. That's what this. Oh, I have chills. But then they'd always seemed right. There were nights of endless pleasure. It was more than any laws allowed. And we're not just talking laws like, constitutional and, you know, political. We're talking laws of the universe that were maybe suppressed. Oh, you can't, that's not allowed in this false matrix. So it was more than any laws allowed. Baby, baby. If I kiss, and when I hear the word kiss in this, it's like kissing or breathing life back into you from your spirit, your true spirit. If I kiss you like this and you whisper, again, use your voice, even if it's a whisper. It was lost long ago, but it's all coming back to me. If you want me like this and you need me like that, it was dead long ago, but it's all coming back to me. I have chills. I just remember, if you love me like this, if you kiss me like that, like that's the only part of the song lyrics I remembered. I didn't realize it was so, and especially in the context that we're putting it in. Holy cow. This is deep. Yeah, it was dead long ago, but it's all coming back to me. I can barely recall, but it's all coming back to me now. But you were history with the slamming of the door. Again, locked out of our divinity by dropping down into this matrix almost. And I made myself so strong again somehow. And I never wasted any of my time on you since then. But if I touch you like this and you kiss, and it repeats. Let me see if there's any. Yeah. And you can listen to this. I don't know, maybe it'll unlock something for you, especially putting it in the context of love letter from your spirit and maybe your human aspect speaking back. It's a cool song. I haven't heard it probably since the 90s. It's a good one though. I do remember the very first Celine Dion song I ever heard was If You Asked Me To, because it was not crazy long after my dad met my stepmom, and she was in love with Celine Dion, and she would just play that song on loop. Anytime we'd get in the car, she'd put her tape in and rewind it to the song. If you ask me to, I just might change my mind. Yeah, but that's not the song we're talking about. We're talking about It's All Coming Back to Me Now. And that one was released in 1996. So I don't know if there's a spiritual relevance for that year, or even maybe if you Google what date that single was released, sometimes those dates have like mind-blowing connections to your personal life. Sometimes, not always. They don't have to be. You don't have to put the square peg in the round hole if it doesn't fit, but there you go. Let's get one more. I know the timer went off, but I kind of went off on the tangent with the lyrics, and I just wanted to see. So what's all coming back to Brianna now? What's all coming back to Brianna now? Okay, slippery energy. I had it and then it slipped. I had it and then it slipped. So victory in some endeavor. V is for victory. It's just overcoming the challenge of connecting and then disconnecting, connecting, disconnecting, which is how many of us on this spiritual awakening have been or have had to operate to maintain our sanity in this crazy place we call the Matrix. You're not going back offline. It's just, it might take work some days more than others, but you're not going back offline in any capacity. Your personal life, your work life, your love life, any of it. You're firm and solid in your spirit with what you're bringing through. You're not taking the false matrix's limitations as an answer ever again. And on the back of the deck, we have bird perched, waiting for news, package or letter. Good news coming in. That's what Spirit wants you to know right now. Crazy Tempest, welcome, welcome. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. All right. So up next, we have Jessa. Let's see. I'll probably just check my email on here because it's not wanting to fully load on my computer. Okay. I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well. Just laughing how Texas does things here. Yeah, I think every state's got its quirks, probably, huh? I looked up my cosmic human design chart and it said I was created on 2/22/1996. I was three something, and you just mentioned that year in the song. Okay. Wow, that's crazy. Wow. Oh my gosh. Yeah, doing good, just laughing. Oh, I read that part. Oh my gosh, yeah, especially for winter stuff. Yeah. Well, you guys aren't used to ice, probably, like the ice storms and stuff. And I remember a couple years back, maybe 2020, 2021, 2022, somewhere in there, Jimmy that used to come to the live stream, he lives in Texas, or did at the time. And he was just like, yeah, like, there's just a teeny amount of ice and no one can drive. No one can go shopping. Like, everybody's just stuck. Yeah. Oh, you lived up north. So you're used to it. It's just the infrastructure in the place that you're in is not used to it. That makes sense. Oh, Jessa texted me her question. Perfect. Question. What do I need to know? Because the dreams are going off. I'm doing the things. Okay, I just heard you're working overtime. You may think you're unemployed. Bish, you are working overtime right now. That's what's crazy here. But let's just see. Let's read the rest of your question and we'll get into it. Oh, you sent me something I need to watch. Fun. Call me Roy G. Biv because I'm visibly on the spectrum. True that for me, for sure. And for you, for sure. But like in the best possible way. I love it. Oh, you have to go. Well, have a good one. Daughter back from school. You all have an awesome time. We'll see you later. I hope you had fun today. I sure had fun hanging out with you. Okay, Jessa. Just what I need to know, because the dreams are going off. I'm doing the things. Where's the payoff, Spirit? Yeah, you're literally working overtime in the astral and beyond. So where's this paycheck? Where's this butter? Where's this cheddar? Where's this bread? Let's bring home that bacon. What is happening? Cheddar, butter, bread, bacon. Sounds good. Lots of food stuff, fun stuff. Okay. Timer. Not that I'm going to stick to it, but I'm going to set it there anyway. Okay, what the actual F? Dreams are popping off. What's going on? Let's bring through where's the payoff? Where is the payoff? Okay, yeah, there's a disturbance, something, weight on the shoulders. Again, matrix tricksters, obscure, irritation, supernatural. So again, supernatural interference, obscure. It's not something you can like physically point to. So because of that, it's had to be creative. 5 + 7, that adds up to 12, adds up to 3. There've had to be real creative, like gymnastics to get around your like defenses and your coven's defenses. So let's just call it out. We are shining a huge spotlight on what this disturbance is. It doesn't have permission to hide anymore. I'm personally setting that precedent when I read on this for you. I'm done with it playing whack-a-mole and peekaboo and ooh, over here. Oh, now I'm over here. Oh, first it's Wednesday. Oh, now it's going to be 4 years from now. Oh, now it's screw all that. I'm shining a huge source-driven spotlight on this disturbance in Jessa's income and career and whatever. We're done playing games. We're done. It's over. What is this disturbance? Okay, slippery energy. We're done. We're calling it out. I'm just done. Okay. So it's something that came into your life when Sam came into your life. I'm not saying it's him. It's something attached to him, which, you know, we all have what's going on. So there was a movie with the guy Pacey from Dawson's Creek. And this is like a depiction from that movie. I watched it at Megan Kurzman's during her wedding weekend in the theater in Helena. I cannot remember the name of it. Let me look up, what was that guy's name? I can't remember his name. Pacey from Dawson's Creek. I'll roundabout Google it. That's how I do what I do. Pacey, Dawson's Creek. Not saying you have to watch this movie to figure out what this is. Joshua Jackson. I always get Jonathan and Joshua's names mixed up. Joshua Jackson movie with Lady on His Shoulders. It's kind of a supernatural horror type movie. Shudder. So it's a remake of a Thai film. He plays a photographer named Ben, who, along with his wife, is haunted by a spirit after a car accident. So, something after your mom's car accident energetically set off something with Sam, the thing attached to Sam. Timer's going off, but we got to go. We got to do this. Leading to severe shoulder pain and ghostly images in his photos. I'd say just spoiler alert for anyone who wants to watch the movie Shudder that came out in like 2008. Just, you know, cover your ears. So the plot is Ben and Jane move to Japan, where a car accident leads them to being haunted with a female spirit physically and spiritually attached to herself. Let me ask, in that movie, how he got rid of it. In the movie, because I don't remember the movie very well. I just remember that. And I did remember he was a photographer, but I couldn't remember the name of the movie, which is Shudder. Photography. How did Ben, the name of the character, get rid of the ghost girl? Okay. So after Jane leaves him upon discovering the role in, wait, am I doing the right thing? Okay. Something R, grape, you know, they use that word in, and unaliving. Ben becomes enraged and desperate, taking photos around his apartment to find her. He throws his camera, and the resulting Polaroid shows Megumi, the lady, sitting on his shoulders, explaining his constant neck pain. Horrified, he attempts to... Okay, this is not literal. This is figurative, metaphorical. After he discovers this, he attempts to unalive himself via electrocution, but fails. The outcome: he is rendered completely catatonic and committed to a mental institution, and the final scene reveals that Megumi is still attached to him, draped over his back as he sits in his room, indicating she will haunt him forever. Okay, again, this is not literal. This is metaphorically speaking. Because we can't... It's like we can fight our own inner demons, but we can't fight other people's inner demons. So this is something that will weirdly kind of be attached in Sam's energy field until he decides to fight his own inner demon, something with an addiction. An addiction doesn't have to be like, oh my God, alcohol, porn, whatever. It could be, you know, just feeling this like uneasy energy when you're not doing something, and then you have this like need to pick up your phone or something like that. It doesn't have to be like this all-out addiction, but this entity that is disturbing your income, cash flow. And again, I don't remember the exact timeline of events, but I want to say it was definitely after Sam came into your life that you lost your job, or that like the job just didn't feel like it fit or something. So something with his, but this is not a bad thing. As weird as that sounds, this is not a bad thing because it is actually shaking loose some of the trauma and you settling for things less than you deserve in your career by him coming into your life. If this, I know this probably just sounds like all over the place, doesn't make sense, but I swear I'm getting to the point of him healing, you healing. Okay, so we have mask. Again, trying to fit yourself into a box rather than be able to be your full, authentic, divine, feminine, creative self in a role in this corporation, that corporation, any corporation. You would still have to dim yourself or kind of wedge yourself into, it feels like a shoe that doesn't fit because things have shifted, but for the better, because you will be able to eventually have a role that feels much more like it fits you, like the shoe fits wear it with this energy. And I think what we'll have to do, you and I, Jessa, tomorrow, are you available? We could do our accountability meeting since we didn't meet last week. If that works for you, I'm available if you are. We can get more into this because this feels like more than a one card pull. Like we're getting to the bottom of why, what is blocking this? What is the holdup? It's been hiding. And I said, no more. We're shining a spotlight on this and it's pointing in that direction. This does not mean it is his fault or that you should, whatever, but there is this separation of his energy that's morphed with yours that basically you doing some cord cutting or cord removal. I always like to tell people to remove them by the roots. Came about 3 years into your life. Oh, interesting. Yeah. And then the number 66 here. So there's like almost like a separation of the entangling of the two of your energies for you to kind of be able to feel your own energy field enough that you realize, okay, this is the thing that's the problem. This is what I need to do. These are my steps forward. Again, it's not him, Sam himself. It's the energy, something energetically attached to him that is kind of almost acting as interference to the signal of you being able to get this provision for all this hard work. And that will lead to your gain. Cultivate, profit, and conclusion of all of this unemployment time. And the number 25 adds up to 7, which is a very spiritual number. Being able to connect to your spiritual gifts and offload anything, just declare anything that is robbing me of my bag. Get that bag, anything that is robbing you of getting your bag needs to detach from your energy field and either be recycled back to source if it tries to connect back in, or just you will transmute it and use that energy for your highest good rather than it siphon from you, if that makes sense. Hope that makes sense. We'll get more into it if you want to meet either Thursday or, whenever we meet again, we can get more into it. All right, Crazy Tempest. Let's get into it for you. So PayPal. Let's go. Email. Okay. And my email is not doing its proper due diligence of updating me, so we're going to log into PayPal real quick for Crazy Tempest. Quick drink of water. Okay. Activity. Crazy Tempest. Okay. So I would like to know, what was the dream I had the other night? I dreamt I went to get a gun and box of items from this guy from an old general store. Before that, I remember asking my guides if I can see who I used to be in another life. What was the purpose of that dream? That's so interesting, because when you were describing going into the general store, I was picturing like the Oregon Trail and like you're loading up on your supplies before you take a journey. So I would look during the time of the actual Oregon Trail, not just like the video game, but the Oregon Trail. that time frame of when that was going on. This was actually a past life memory that you did tune into, and you were going on a trip. I'm seeing, weirdly enough, it wasn't actually the Oregon Trail, but there was a long distance trip you were taking, and I'm also seeing in my mind's eye on Yellowstone. It's 1890 something. I think it's 1893. I don't remember. Let's see. I don't know if you've seen that, and I don't even think you had to look it up. Yellowstone 18 whatever year, 1893. Okay. Yeah, so it refers to events occurring around the year 1893. Yellowstone universe, primarily seen in flashbacks with the main show, and the prequel of 1883. But I'm actually getting 1893. So this is like 10 years after that. 1874 was the last time this gun was made. Okay, so it makes sense that it would obviously have happened after that date. So I would look in anywhere between 1883, 1893, whichever one resonates. It feels closer to 1893 though. You were making a trip and it feels like you were moving somewhere else, like a big move, like across country in the US here. But let's just see. Going back to your question. Oops. PayPal. What was the purpose of this dream? Like, what is it trying to show you for this life? Because obviously we now know it was a past life. I'm going to set my timer just to try to remain as on track as I can. What was the purpose of this dream for Crazy Tempest in this life? Okay, so this is hard work. So if life feels hard, feels grueling, or like it's hard to get ahead, or, you know, there's something that was going on in that life that, like, life was physically, mentally exhausting in that life. You literally had to like work yourself to the bone, blood, sweat, and tears, and all of that in that lifetime. And at times you may feel like in this lifetime, it's like, I mean, what more do I have to do to get where I want to get in life? Like, what is the holdup here? Yeah, I looked up the gun. Yeah, I wrote that part. Yes, I was making some long distance trip and gathering stuff in that dream. They said this was my stuff. Yes, absolutely. And this is just showing, like, this person looks like someone who makes leather products, because the person here is like leather stamping things into that leather. There's some leather bags and totes and stuff in the background there. So to me, this definitely feels like you were working with your hands. If it wasn't leather, it was like a, something very much where you're working with your hands, like a craftsman of some kind, and selling your goods in exchange for being able to like buy things. And oh, you looked a lot like him in the general store. I mean, this almost looks like a general store. I mean, obviously we can see like a city and the tree and a street light out the window, so it's like modernized. But if you kind of take this image back in time, a lot of those general store people, like they dress nice, but then they had like this like apron over themselves. But yeah, this was you. Snippets of this dream. You're moving. You're on a big move. And there may be, if it's not literal in this life, that you've done that or want to do that again at some point, because you had mentioned something about living in the North and now you're in Texas. You've already done that. There may be another thing you're going to do where eventually you leave Texas and go somewhere else. Potentially. It doesn't, if that doesn't resonate that you want to do that anytime soon, you don't have to. This could be more metaphorical speaking. You're moving, but like vibrationally speaking, you're making a move. And now, as I said that, I saw this deck and I'm like, yes, next. Let's get a card from this one. Anything else for Crazy Tempest? About the dream. Yeah, deep diver, diving into a task. And that's what this is. This is all about diving in. You're so immersed in the work that you're doing that you lose track of time, or it doesn't even feel like work. Yes, it's hard work and you're really busting your butt to do it, but it's work you love. It's work you're literally becoming a master of your trade. So the message coming through is there's something coming through. It may even be something completely new to you coming up. Like it could even start as a hobby. It's a skill that you are acquiring and putting a lot of effort, a lot of work into, to where able to really go deep with this skill, this, potential service that you can provide for other people through this skill that you do, that will bring in a lot of financial income and give you an easier life because you're able to bring in more income because of it, if that makes sense. What else does Crazy Tempest need to know about this dream? Me talks, repairing the mind, body, and spirit. So it's almost like you uncovering the memories or just snippets of this dream that felt real, that were in that past life for you, is kind of bringing up stuff that was feeling a bit like trauma to you from that life that you were operating in this life. Like, why can't I just break through this blockage or that blockage or this trauma or this wound? Why can't I let this go? This has been highlighted for you in this dream, and your guide's helping you like kind of suss out what's going on here, so you can let go of, like, in this bubble here, we almost have like little aliens or monsters that it's like letting go of. Like, to me, it's like trauma. Like, you're releasing or letting go of trauma that you didn't even know was there. But now that you've tuned into this past life, you realize life doesn't have to be as hard as it was in that life. Maybe hard as that life, but in just different ways. More mental, like, challenges in this lifetime versus that lifetime, because that was such a physical, almost like survival type of lifetime for you. Not like crazy survival, like every day is survival, but like there are certain times where you had to work really hard and have to be out doing all these things and literally working your body to exhaustion to be able to like provide and have a roof over your head and do all these things that maybe you don't have to work quite that hard in this life, but mentally speaking, you're working overtime in this life in ways that you were working physically in that life. So they kind of almost act as two sides of the same coin. Right. Every time has been a different challenge, but also become a better person. Absolutely. So this is just helping you repair stuff from the past or integrate stuff from that past life. Not just the hardships, but also the skills, all the skills that you had in that past life, even if you're not literally doing like leather working or something with your hands in this life. Although weirdly enough, I feel like there's something that you are very, or will be very interested in, that is you creating something with your hands and not just typing on a keyboard, as far as like working for someone else and writing out emails and creating in that way. I see it as something like you have a very tangible result of the work you put into something you're selling or a service you're providing, something like that, that people are going to greatly benefit from. And you're going to greatly benefit from, because you're looking at it. It's almost like you're coming at this work from a place of how can I improve other people's lives, rather than how much money can I charge for this item? What's in it for me? Not that that's how you are, but like, that's just how you're coming at this approach is, I want something that can benefit humanity and help people, even if it's in just a small way. And oh, wow, as an added bonus, all my needs are taken care of financially because I'm bringing in this income with these services or these goods I'm providing to people. So it's very much around career is what this is feeling like. It's helping you realize that you're made for more than maybe what you've been doing. So there may be some shift, but this is a shift you are initiating. It's not like you're being kicked out of where you're working and now, oh, now I got to scramble and try to figure something out. This is a shift and a decision you're making from the inside first, that you can then go in a new direction, potential move, or maybe it's more energetically you're moving in a new direction. It doesn't have to be physical move unless you want it to. Yeah, timer went off, but anyway, I hope that resonated for you. Cool. Yeah, definitely you were very tuned into this past life, and yeah. And it's almost, again, like you and that version of you from that past life, you can take all the good stuff of who you are now and who you were in that life and kind of bring them together and like go off into the sunset. Not that life's always going to be easy, but you're acquiring skills from this past life. Now that you're aware of it, you've kind of shined a light on it enough that even you can set that intention like, hey, past version of me from that past life, bring me into this life some of those skills I had. You have access to that. Even if you didn't realize you did, you do. So just set that intention if you feel so inclined and just see what happens. Just see if your interests start shifting, or, you get this new hobby that just becomes almost, I won't even say an obsession, but it's just something that's like, you love doing it so much that it, yes, technically is like work, or you could make money from it, but it doesn't feel like work. Wish I could see what I look like then too. No first person view, right? Very interesting. Yeah, you do feel very much, I see like a long beard, not like long, but like kind of scruffy long beard. I see brown eyes in that life. I see like thick eyebrows. And I just heard German. So I don't know if you were German, like you came over from Germany or your ancestors had come over from Germany at some point in that lifetime. Um, yeah. So there may be even some crossover of that if you kind of go back through your family tree. I see it's not like in your direct family tree, but like as a, distant grandfather's sister's son or whatever was like potentially you were incarnated in this same family line in that, if that makes sense. Oh, your dad's side was from Germany, especially the 1700s. Wow. Yeah, I feel like this past life is somehow like you could, if you discovered somehow who you were, John Smith, that's not your name, but like just pretend for sake of argument. Your name was John Smith in that life, and you go do a bunch of research. You would find somehow, some way they were like not a direct descendant of you. You yourself were not a direct descendant of you, but like, removed through like aunts and uncles and cousins, like off to the side of family tree. Because, you you have two parents who each have two parents who each have two parents, and back, even 5, 6, 7, 8 generations back. That's a lot of grandparents and cousins and uncles and aunts and people, people hanging in the family tree's branches, just hanging out like little monkeys, hanging out. Yeah, like similar bloodline of generation. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it just feels like that was in this incarnation, you wanted to bring some of that German ancestry in. So that's very cool. I love that. Well, hopefully that brought you even just a little bit of curiosity about it, if anything. All right, you guys. Well, I think we're all caught up. So I'm going to go have some lunch, go pick up my kids from school. We have basketball practice tonight and all the fun things. So I'm going to go get ready for that. Not the basketball practice, but just to do all the rest of it. But yes, I will see you guys later. We will be back here Friday. It will be a donation only live stream Friday because I was not here last Friday. So we're already by default over 2 weeks from our last, or it will be 2 weeks from our last donation only live stream. So we'll do that. And then I think Wednesday we'll do another free 1-card pull or something fun and a little more exciting a week from today, next Wednesday at 11 a.m. Mountain Time here on the live stream. Yeah, I'm more curious. Thank you. Have a good time with the kids. Thanks. I always do. They keep me on my feet, busy and doing all the fun things. So, all right, you guys, thanks again so much for all those likes, comments, shares, subscribes, donations, and all the things. And I really, truly do hope to see each and every one of you right back here at Harmony Portal Tarot Live. Thanks again. Peace. And I will see you next time. All right, you guys. Bye.